now. Union State's doing pretty good against Chicago, or in pushing towards Chicago, I should say. And part of that is because they have their truce with the Pacific States right now, so the CSA has to fight both of them, and it's not everyone fighting everyone, like it is in a lot of games, and this is, quite frankly, the best I have seen a campaign go for literally anyone that isn't the syndicates. For whatever reason, the CSA always seems to win. I would guess that has something to do with the fact that... Oh, balls. I didn't notice that, and my volunteers over in the Americas got encircled. Let's see. New textbooks is done, so we do not have the massive penalties thing over there anymore. But I'm not quite done over here yet. Time to revive some militarism. The German people are renowned for their bellicosity and national pride. The Weltkrieg, however, cost us dearly, and many a family was denuded of its menfolk. It's time for us to revive the militaristic spirit of the Prussian era in the name of the Reich and the Kaiser. This will give us renewed militarism, and therefore 3% more recruitable population, more division recovery rate, and more war support. All in all, a very good thing. The naval program we're about done with, just some U-boats left, and the Yunnan clique, all the way over in China, has got themselves a civil war. You guys have fun with that. Oh, balls. Managed to break out of that pocket just in time. The Fentian government has declared war on the Qing. Yeah. The Fentian government over here, if you're at all not aware, is basically the equivalent of Manchu Kuo from the base game, with the main difference being they're not a Japanese puppet state. They're not even technically an ally. Their independence is guaranteed by Japan, and Japan will sometimes hop in on their side against the Qing, I've seen, but that's about it. I think I've seen it some places where the Japanese get an option to stage a coup or something and make the Fentian their puppet, so they can conquer all of China, and then Japan just swoops in and takes over the government. It's not an uncommon thing to see, at all. Not at all. Honduras has declared war on El Salvador. Wait, what? Is this gonna be another football war-like scenario? I really hope not. And If you're not aware of what I'm talking about, then the football war was a thing during the Cold War where basically El Salvador and Honduras ended up at war, ostensibly because of a football game, but also because of some immigration crap. I don't really remember all the details. I saw a YouTube video on it one time, which is admittedly not the best place to base your information on, but yeah. But yeah, this is basically what reminded me of that. And I'm just thinking, what, are they gonna have the football war like 50 years early? Something? And Ukraine wants another loan to help develop their eastern industries and quell syndicalist power. But they're asking for a bigger one. Alright. Take your blasted loan. We have the spare stability to tank that particular hit anyways. Guys, bomb them if you would.
Zum Ausrücken!
There we are.
Ausrücken! Ausrücken! Ausrücken!
We would like to hit up Chicago soon, but unfortunately, Transylvania is a country? Oh right, I hadn't seen that before, thanks for the heads up. So, this is a thing that I always seem to have happen in pretty much all my Kaiserreich games. It used to not happen, but since, like, I think 2 or 3 patches ago, it's always been a thing now. Anyways, to cut a long story short, Austria, during their Augsburg, or however the hell you pronounce the damn thing, negotiations with Hungary, essentially we will reassess the terms of our dual monarchy arrangement that they have in 1937. Austria will quite frequently, in fact, I see it happen about 99% of the time now, say that they want to give autonomy to the minority groups within Hungary, meaning the Romanians and Slovenes? Is that the name for people from Slovakia? I apologize, I'm not really sure. Hungary always refuses, and this leads to war between Austria and Hungary, which Hungary will frequently, in fact, all but like 1 or 2 times, lose. And then Austria will break up Hungary into a bunch of other nations who are their puppets. They're still part of the empire, they're just smaller. So, Transylvania starts as part of Hungary. Austria just broke them off from Hungary after they took them over during that war. That's the long and short of it anyways. Probably more long than short, honestly.
Greif weiter an! Ausrücken!
Okay. Going not bad over there. And great. It's this nonsense. The French and British and I guess Northern Italians are working on making an atomic bomb. Because of course they are. Let's bop you guys. Maybe win Madrid a little bit more breathing room, which will last for about 10 seconds. Before they get occupied again. South Africa declared war on Southern Rhodesia and Natal. Yes. Also, I forgot to show this off, but have a look at Africa. We had a Middle African explosion happen. I may have tried to arrest Goering for treason during this game, and Africa may have blown up as a result. Yeah. Just sued West Africa now. Who are getting ready to, at one point, try and attack the rest of them, I guess? Yeah, we just have sued West Africa left right now. Okay, guys. Pull back a little, I suppose. It's a smart thing to do. Let's go and support them there. And like I said, South Africa, they're a bit of a mess. Start of the Third Boer War, because 2 of them clearly wasn't enough. Resentment between the Dutch and British colonists in South Africa has been brewing under the surface since the end of the Second Boer War, with the former mostly pursuing South Africa's divorce from the British Empire, while the latter seek to keep it as close to it as possible. Renewed conflict was perhaps unavoidable from the start. Leveraging their majority among the electorate, the Afrikaners have declared South Africa an independent republic under the leadership of Dr. D.F. Mayan. English-speaking provinces of southern Rhodesia and Natal after declared their loyalty to the empire and secession from the republic. As the battle lines are being drawn, intervention appears increasingly likely. Can the British finally pacify South Africa permanently, or will the Boers recover their freedom and independence they had to give up in 1902? Third time's the charm, ... Yeah, I don't see a Third Boer War type thing happen too often, to be honest. It's not like it's unheard of, it's just less common than some other events. Not quite on the same level as a civil war in Siam, mind you, but still rare. Bop those guys, hopefully, if we can manage it. We're still in range of Chicago, thankfully, just less so than we were before, I guess. go. Natal has joined the Entente. As has southern Rhodesia, apparently. The Entente haven't jumped in on South Africa's war yet, though. I guess they're waiting to see how it turns out. And I'm not going to call it just yet, but for the moment, it's fairly slow and steady, so not much progress on either front, even if Natal is taking the odd profits. Fall of Rome. This will be for the Socialist Republic of Italy's war down there. And they just conquered Rome. First time seeing the Third Boer War, really? The Italian Federation declares war on the Socialist Republic of Italy. The Italian... Well, about that. Fall of Cape Town? Hang on a second. Okay, sorry about that. One of the main hazards of the fact that I still live with my dad. He will occasionally just badger me about random things he wants me to do. Anyways, Fall of Cape Town. One of the greatest cities in South Africa and located on the Western Cape, Cape Town has long been admired for its beautiful location and its role in the economy of South Africa. For many years since explorers first sailed to the Cape of Good Hope, Cape Town has outgrown its original purpose as a fairway outpost. The once prosperous and even largest city in South Africa has experienced a reversal of fortune as Italian forces stormed the city recently in a successful campaign. The desperate South African defenders wanted to rally a defense in the Castle of Good Hope, but it was clear that the battle was over by nightfall, with the port of Cape Town... While the port of Cape Town, sustained damage during the battle, it will no doubt serve to fulfill the strategic needs of the Italian army as they begin their occupation of the city. The mother city has been occupied. So, I'm not actually sure where Cape Town is. Oh, over there. Yes, geography in places like South Africa and the like have never been my strong suit. But yeah, that is what's going on with them. colony in Africa sent us some divisions. They'll occasionally do that, I find. One of the obvious benefits to playing as Germany that while you still have colonial territories in Africa, they'll just sometimes randomly send me troops or supplies or something. I've had them send out guns and support equipment and the like plenty of times, and it's very nice to just be getting free gear every now and then.
Weiter!
Militarism revival, or militarist revival, rather, is done. Just look at that boost. Oh yes, and it's the Waking the Tiger soundtrack. Honestly, one of the only things that kind of irks me about Kaiserreich is that I can't use any of the music mods without it getting claimed, or on Twitch getting muted in the VOD. Because some of the Kaiserreich soundtracks are amazing from the submods, but if you use them, the copyright gods will be angry. And actually, it's 3% recruitable population, not 2%. And if you think that's OP, oh man, you should have seen Socialist Russia on the release version of Kaiserreich. Because I played Kaiserreich literally the day it came out, and Russia in that version was so overpowered, it was not even funny. You could literally, like, without even going after Finland or Germany's Eastern Bloc, just by retaking the Donbass Union, Georgia, Azerbaijan, Armenia, and those central bits and stuff, basically, just by retaking the unprotected frontier breakaway countries as Socialist Russia, and staying on volunteer only and going through the focus tree, you could get up to 18 million manpower. I am not even kidding. So in retrospect, it's probably for the best they nerfed that, but even so, I do miss my Socialist Russia with 18 million manpower before war even began with Germany. As well as the ability to integrate Finland and Poland. And also, because you can't do that as Russia anymore, I don't think. I know. It's just as bananas as it sounds. French Republic declared war on Chad. Come on, France. Why you gotta be such a Chad? Because France, the French Republic rather, not the France we're trying to kill, is another example of a nation that's a bit of a hot mess. Like the Ottomans, only less extreme. But France has a system with their occupation thingamadoodad. Basically, a bunch of these French territories, they have growing resistance because of native resentment or something, and if it gets above a certain threshold, then France's colonial regions down in what remains of the country for them will start to splinter off and declare independence. So France has to both build up their army to be able to fight other France and keep the natives in check. I've never quite managed that balance. The last time I tried it, literally everyone broke away. So I just sort of gave that game up as a bad job, honestly. Yeah, no problem. Thanks for showing up. Appreciate you being here. I'm probably going to be winding it down pretty soon anyways. Getting to the point where I need to start doing dinner prep for my dad for tonight so that we can make our pizza. But yeah, thanks for turning up. I think going to wait for it to hit 1939 December.
Alright.
And I just realized I never set another national focus. A bit of a derp there. I think this. Reactivate the Ludendorff line. Syndicalist menace looms darker than ever. In fear of going into the next war, and prepare the reactivation of the old Ludendorff line on our western border is considered vital. It's one of the dictator's many costly prestige projects. The line of bunkers and fortification have fallen into disuse in recent years. This is nothing that cannot be solved with a bit of engineering ingenuity. Essentially, put a bunch of forts along the border with France so they can't just walk in, and we have an easier time holding the line. A bunch of annexations down in Africa. And
Befehle!
now some more divisions going east. You can have another factory. I'll get ahead of intelligence. Aircraft designer. Let's get a fighter manufacturer. And a chief of the Air Force for battlefield support. Go up to 4 speed for now. The pun was unintentional, I assure you. The fall of Madrid. Oh no. Looks like my attempts to defend the north have led to the fall of the royalist capital of Madrid. So falls the heart of the Kingdom of Spain. Kurdistan is now rebelling against the Ottoman Empire. Come on, guys. No time to waste. If we can, we need to take Madrid back pronto-like. The Qing government took 18 states. The League of Southwest provinces has been annexed. Wait, what even happened here? I didn't know that the Qing and the League of Southwest Provinces, the Anqing there, were at war, and now they're at war with the whole South. Well, China's managed to be basically reunited without me even noticing. Yeah, that's interesting.
Zeigt es ihnen!
Guys. Would you people help me out, please? I would like to take Madrid. And the capital is back in our hands. For all the good it will do us. And now Egypt declares war on the Ottoman Empire. And some southern China thing that we don't care about. The Sultanate of Najd. War in the desert. Arab nationalism and Turkish imperialism has finally found themselves at odds as talks over the Sinai-Palestine issue have collapsed after Egypt marched its army through the Sinai Desert. Nominally united until 1914, the two leading powers in the Middle East are now set on a course to decide the destiny of the Middle East. And as the Egyptians encounter on an array of allies in other Arab states, many fear that it won't be enough, as the military and economic capacity of the Turkish Empire now still vastly outclasses that of its rival. But what about the oil? Yes, the oil. Clearly the thing we should be worrying about. And unfortunately, while that thing about them outclassing it is true, the Ottomans are also an incredibly unstable state. The Kurdistani revolt didn't last for long, but there are plenty of other states that can potentially fall to rebellion. Or provinces, rather. The Philippines join the Entente. The Ottomans can have a number of other rebellions and things that can weaken them to the point where it's actually quite plausible for them to lose this war. The Ludendorff line has been reactivated, so now go with this one. It'll take us a little longer, but we're going to fortify our puppet in Belgium as well as our own territory. Our puppet regime is screaming for help against the syndicalists. It's extending the reactivation over the Moose River. That's probably the wrong way to pronounce it, admittedly. And up to the North Sea coast would be costly and take up precious time, but it might enable us to make a stand on foreign soil that not one German civilian is threatened. So add a bunch more forts and make our defensive line a good deal longer. Second, but things in America are still pretty stable. We haven't managed to hit Chicago yet, but we're getting close. There's been a rebellion, as I was saying before it accidentally unpaused, there's been a rebellion in Yemen, the former Ottoman puppet state in the region. Who has not only declared full independence from the Ottoman Empire, but joined the Cairo Pact against them. So, who's going to rebel next, I wonder? And it has been answered. Syria. It's probably going to seize a bunch of bits for themselves. However, it is now 1939, and I really should stop here for the moment, I think. This has been DarkPhoenix Gaming. You have been watching Kaiserreich, Legacy of the Weltkrieg. If you've enjoyed this, then please give me a follow and hit that notification bell so you can catch all my streams. You can find my schedule posted down below, and I usually adhere to it, but as this stream is evidence of, sometimes I just feel like playing a different game that I have on said schedule, and I'll do that instead. But I hope to see you next time. Thanks for watching, everyone, and see you then. So long for now.